Right now, we're watching the White House, where President Biden will sign his hard infrastructure bill on Monday. And now that he's got his bill, it is time for him to sell it to voters. He just went to the Port of Baltimore to promote it yesterday. But on top of all that, he still needs to get his Democrats-only human infrastructure bill across the finish line. I want to dig deeper and bring in Wes Moore. He's a Democrat running for governor of Maryland. Also with us, Democratic Massachusetts Congressman Jake Auchincloss. And we should note, both of them are veterans who served in Afghanistan. Wes, Biden just talked about what needs to get done in your hometown of Baltimore. He said it's about infrastructure projects that are going to create thousands and thousands of jobs. Here's my question. Who's going to fill those jobs? We already have a huge labor shortage.
Well, the great thing about this initiative and the fact is this is a bipartisan initiative. We're talking about, 13 Republican House voters who actually voted for this bill who will face intense backlash because of it. But it's highlighting the fact that we are at this fundamental tipping point where this actually gives us a chance to rethink how we're talking about work going forward in the future.
Yes, Wes,
in some.
Please answer the question.
Yeah, no, but I think the answer is this, is that you're absolutely right. This actually gives us a chance to not just build the infrastructure, but then also have a restructuring on how we're talking about education as a whole. What are we doing to actually making sure that jobs, whether it's trade jobs at community colleges, are aligned and actually training people for the jobs of now and for the jobs of the future? When you think about what this bill is going to do, we're talking about $4.1 million for improving highways, $1.7 billion for public transportation, $844 million for ensuring clean drinking water. These are things that if we cannot do this work, you cannot talk about building out a long-term infrastructure if things like clean drinking water still remain an issue. We have people who are ready to do the work. Now we just have to make sure that all the training mechanisms are all aligned to make sure that work can actually get done.
Congressman, this infrastructure bill, to Wes's point, is going to do so many important things that are going to help us in the long term. But right now, what people are panicking over are prices, inflation. What are you telling voters in the state of Massachusetts? It's about to get really cold in Massachusetts, and heating bills are going to be really high.
Two things. And first, good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Wes. Good to be with you. Number one, this infrastructure bill makes investments in our supply chain to help unclog the bottleneck of goods that have led to some of the inflation. Second, though, a lot of the inflation we're seeing is actually a repercussion of the pandemic, and specifically the fact that people have rebalanced their spending away from services and towards goods. The supply chain is actually shipping in more goods now than it was 2 years ago, but the balancing away from services and towards goods has been so extreme that supply can't keep up with demand. The number one thing we can do for inflation is vaccinations, because if we can fully put this pandemic behind us and people can reorient their spending towards in-person services again, we're going to see that inflation cool off.
So what is your message, Congressman, right now to voters? Because Republicans are going to have a field day when it comes to this inflation thing. We've got a crime issue. We're obviously dealing with gender inequality issues. When you speak to voters, what is the Democratic message?
That in 2022, we're going to put the pandemic behind us and have a strong economy ahead of us. When I tour the district from Fall River through Milford, through Brookline and Newton, I see work ethic, I see talent, I see ambition. This infrastructure bill helps unleash the American economy into a roaring 20s. We can outcompete the Chinese Communist Party in the 21st century, but we need the water, transportation, high-speed internet, electrical infrastructure to do that with, and this bill helps do that. It's not about a news cycle. It's not about short-term approval ratings. It's not even about the midterms. This is about what's best for the United States.
Wes, I want to talk about Afghanistan. Both of you served there. This is the first Veterans Day. We are not at war in 20 years. I spoke to a veteran just a few minutes ago, and he described how he's feeling on this important day, and he said he feels broken. How do you feel?
I think for a lot of veterans, we find ourselves in the situation where this is a very meaningful day for us. And then for a lot of people in our society, it just feels performative. When people say thank you for your service, we want that to actually mean something. That people don't have a full understanding of what the service is, or also don't have a full understanding of what veterans are still going through still to this day. When you think about the fact that veterans make up about 8% of the U.S. population, but account for about 14% of suicides inside this country. When you look at the fact that there is an unemployment and an underemployment challenge, when you look at the fact that we have basic challenges when it comes to veteran service delivery, and that these are long-standing and historic persistent issues related to our ability to be able to process disability claims for veterans. These are things that are going on and have been going on for a long time. So I think in this moment of generational opportunity, I think what veterans are looking for is generational change, and they're looking for society to not be performative when we talk about this idea of thanking people for their service.
Actually do something about it. Congressman, how about you?
Like many Americans, both of my grandfathers served in World War II, and I'm thinking of them today, and I'm thinking of what that war meant for this country. My grandfathers came from very different backgrounds. One was the son of refugees from the Russian pogroms. The other one grew up well-to-do from a privileged family. They both put on the uniform in World War II. One served as a surgeon, the other as a Marine. They both put their lives on hold, put their lives at risk. And it was a unifying moment for this nation. And I think we are so hungry for that now as a country, to feel that sense of common purpose yet again. And veterans engaging in elective service is a key component of that. We've got the muscle memory of what it feels like to put country first. And I think we need to lean in now to the civil and political challenges of the 2020s.
Well, I do thank you both for your service. I thank you today and every day, and thank you for joining us this morning. You definitely made us smarter. Congressman West, thanks again. Coming up.